Buckeyes fall to 1-1, losing to Oregon, and they'll be in Big Ten play again here in a few weeks. But first, it's Tulsa and it's Akron. So, of course, Pat, at this stage of the season, most Ohio State observers thought, okay, 2-0. Then you go to the soft part of the schedule. You work on some things that needed to be worked on, most notably linebackers, secondary. Let's see how they play and if they're able to work some things out. But now it becomes more of the narrative of how good is this team? Well, regardless of what they do, they can win 75-0 the next few games, and nobody's going to give them much credit for that. And then later in the season to see if they've righted the wrongs and they're able to, again, be Big Ten champions. So is there anything that you're looking for the next few weeks to kind of grade the progress of them getting back to where they need to be?
I think, like you said, we're not going to be able to know for sure that things have improved until further down the season. Once you really get into Big Ten play, start playing some good, like for like talent level opponents. What you have to see though is the defense has to improve in terms of, you can't, even if you win the game next week against Tulsa, you can't have a team that threw for 300 yards or, scored 28 points or, something like that. There needs to at least be signs that this is improving, even if it is against inferior opponents. If those inferior opponents are doing similar things to what Minnesota and Oregon did, then you still have some serious problems. I'll also be looking to see defensively if there's any schematic changes. Ohio State maybe without Josh Proctor, their single high safety. He left the game in an air cast on a cart, so that doesn't look good. We'll probably find out more about his injury later on. Do they go with more traditional two safety looks? What different things are they going to incorporate? Because going back to, the Clemson, Alabama games last year and even some games during the season, Indiana obviously stands out. Teams have really been able to manipulate this Ohio State defense. And the talk this offseason was having a full offseason was going to be a major fix, but they also talked about having change-ups and things that they could throw at a defense, and they really haven't had much. They're playing with what they call the bullet linebacker position, which is kind of a hybrid safety linebacker. That's a little bit different than what they've done in the past, but not a ton. I'd like to see some things that are clearly, okay, we're making adjustments here, better fit the personnel, things like that. I'd also like to see Ohio State stop rotating as many guys defensively. It's a lot of guys playing, which leads me to believe that they're not set on certain guys. The line coming from the Buckeyes is, we have a lot of talent. We want to get it on the field. I get that. But, to me, I think the real thing is in certain positions, guys haven't stepped up and, earned the starting spot or solidified themselves as the guys. You look at cornerback, it's Denzel Burke, the freshman. It was Cameron Brown this week. Those were the two main guys out there. Legend Cavazos rotated in a little bit as well. To me, those positions look set. Linebacker, there's too many guys playing. Defensive line, there may be too many guys playing, and I know they rotate on the defensive line a lot. So it's just I want to see improvements, obviously, but I think those specific things are things that you can, even playing an inferior opponent, you can kind of touch on to say, hey, at least there's something changing here. We'll see how those changes work down the road. But, Ohio State is clearly going out of its way to make changes and adjust after, two very disappointing defensive games to start the season.
Pat, I'm glad you brought up the Proctor injury, because while there is so much, I'm not going to say star power on the defense, it's actually potential star power on the defense with all the 5 stars. He might be one of the most important players on the team, and he doesn't get a whole lot of credit or acclaim. But yeah, many of those plays that broke down defensively, you would have thought that he would have been in the right spot where they had a safety vacate who got duped by motion or a pattern where the 76-yard touchdown run comes to mind in particular, where the entire middle of the field was vacated. So it would not be good if he's lost for the season and they're not able to get somebody up to speed.
For sure. And, the Minnesota game, it stands out to me. There was a number of times where Josh Proctor was back there signaling the other guys. They had two freshmen, one true freshman, one redshirt freshman playing corner. He was, making sure guys were in the right position. Clearly one of the leaders on this defense, the back end there. Losing him is a big blow. He finally started to step into that Jordan Fuller role from a couple of years ago. kind of be that guy at the back of the defense to cover up anything that gets out of there. And you saw as soon as he went out, Bryson Shaw took a bad angle, and Cameron Brown wasn't able to make the tackle on that big run that you referred to. So, I think Ohio State's got to go with more two safety looks. I just don't think they have that guy to play the single high safety, especially with Proctor out. They've done it more than they have maybe in the past, but I think it's got to be, maybe that's your base defense here, and you just change things up. Just, you can't have these type of plays happening, especially with so many young guys out there. I think getting another safety on the field to kind of be able to patrol that back end is going to be key.
Great stuff from Pat Murphy, Bucknuts 247 Sports. Join him right there, and keep in mind that we've got Ohio State post game right here at the Voice of College Football. Pat, we appreciate you stopping by as always.
Absolutely. Thank you.